So the next two videos of me you're going to be seeing are videos me talking about two new comic book series from two different independent companies, pretty much the licenses they've brought out and what they might do with them, my thoughts of what I hope to see what they do with them. First off, we're going to go to my favorite of all comic book companies, IDW, or as I like to call it, my inner comic book sanctum, as well as the biggest chunk of my wallet money that is taken from me. That made no sense, I'm sorry. Anywho, they've just now acquired basically they've acquired a new license, and that is, you can see right here, X-Files. Yeah, starting very soon, like I think they said either March or April, IDW has announced they're going to be doing the X-Files comics. Now, the last people who had X-Files comics was Wildstorm, and it's funny too because a little while ago, I'd say about maybe last year or the year, yeah, I think, yeah, sometime in 2011, towards the end of 2011, Wildstorm, before they were absorbed into DC Comics, they pretty much owned the license to X-Files, and they did a crossover between X-Files and 30 Days of Night. And IDW owns 30 Days of Night, so what I'm hoping for, one of the things I'm hoping for is, for X-Files, is a second X-Files 30 Days of Night crossover. That would be awesome. I love the first crossover between X-Files and 30 Days of Night. It was so cool. I really love me some X-Files, and I love some 30 Days of Night. It was a really good crossover, and just having them under the same now under the same company, I think there's a possibility that Steve Niles might be open again to another crossover. But other than crossovers, which I'll talk about another one I'm really hoping to see, I'm an X-Files fan. I really do enjoy some good old-fashioned X-Files. When I was a kid, however, I gotta tell this story. When I was a kid, though, when I was younger, like really young, the X-Files thing traumatized me. Like, it would be hilarious, too. When my mom and dad would send me to bed when I was younger, they'd play X-Files. And my room wasn't too far away from the living room. And I could just hear the X-Files theme as I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's the most haunting. I like the X-Files theme now, but sometimes I have flashbacks to, laying in bed and listening to, or yeah, that was horrible. But pretty much hearing the X-Files theme and trying to go to sleep. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one in that. But yeah, I've grown to love me some X-Files, and among other things, I would really like to... now, they haven't really announced... I forgot... actually, no, I read through the thing, and I don't think they announced a writer and an artist... I mean, yeah, a writer and an artist for the book. If I remember right, I think one of the people they want to do art for... one of the people they want for artists is Ben Templesmith, who does a lot of artwork, and he's the co-creator of 30 Days of Night, which I'd be all for. I think Ben Templesmith's artwork would be cool for at least covers. His interior art, like, it's hit or miss with me when he does interior, but I think he'd be perfect for doing some 30 Days of Night stuff. And in terms of writing, I don't know who they could get for IDW. I personally, if Scott Snyder was not working for DC, he would be fucking awesome on some X-Files. And then again, I don't know if he's a fan of the show or not, but after reading, his, it'd be a cool thing of, like, a combination of Swamp Thing and Batman, when you think about it. That's what would probably be his take on X-Files. It'd be like a supernatural and detective put together. That's pretty much what X-Files is. So it'd be kind of like his Swamp Thing and Batman run put together. That'd be kind of badass. But regardless, a few other things I'd like to see outside of a second 30 Days of Night X-Files crossover. I would really love to see I would absolutely love to see get this, an X-Files Doctor Who crossover. Yeah, I would piss myself if they announced, hey, we're going to do X-Files and Doctor Who now, right after the Star Trek thing. It's going to be awesome. I would totally buy that. I would that would be another great one, and I know the the Doctor Who Star Trek Next Generation one was hit or miss. I'm getting all the issues very soon, so I don't know exact soon, but soon. And anywho, I would absolutely love to see X-Files and X-Files Doctor Who crossover. I think that'd be a perfect mend right there. If not, I'd also like to see... I don't know, I mean, IDW's obsessed with crossovers, so hell, fuck it. Let's have a X-Files Mars Attacks crossover, and X-Files and Ghostbusters. dude, X-Files and Ghostbusters, right there, boom, I want that. But anywho, guys, I think I've pretty much said enough. I'm really excited for this X-Files title. And yeah, you guys tell me what you'd like to see from the X-Files title. Who do you think should write it? Or, I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but who would be your fan team for an X-Files book, and, you know, in terms of writer as well as artist? Now, I can't remember if the article said who the definitive writer is or who the definitive artist is. I can't remember. I don't think I saw it, but if there was, I apologize if the article I read on Comic Vine was there, if it was there or not. But anywho, and feel free to correct me if there was a announced writer and artist for the book. But anyway, guys, like I said, you guys tell me, if you're a fellow X-Files fan, what you'd like to see from this book, because there's so many ways you could take this now. You could do... And the interesting thing is that's Mulder and Scully again. I forgot to mention that. It's Mulder and Scully back together again. So, are they basing this before... before David Duchovny left, or is it, like, continuing ventures, or... I'd really like to see some really interesting stuff, like some stuff that they couldn't really handle because of the X-Files budget, like maybe something like I'd really like to see the X-Files go after the Wendigo, or maybe, there's so many things, like, I think, if I remember right, I think they went after the Chupacabra once, but I'd like to see them go after it again. Man, it's been a while since I've seen me some X-Files, but I'd really like to see something like, I don't know, something a lot more alien stuff. Like, I'd like to see them delve into the ancient alien stuff. I'd really like to see them, because I know they tackled that a little bit in the show, but I'd really like to see them, like, globe-trotting. I'd really like to see Mulder and Scully globe-trotting. That would be my first and foremost thing, because there's more things out there, and I could definitely see them basically sending Mulder and Scully out in these, like, global world tour stuff, so that'd be something right there. But like I said, guys, you guys tell me what you think of all this, and yeah, stay tuned for the next video about the next comic book series that is coming out from another very well-known independent comic book studio.